In today's video, we're delving into a crucial subject as we examine the wisdom of Stoicism and its real-world implications in contemporary relationships. The 10 signs that a lady doesn't respect you. Maintaining your integrity and self-respect requires being aware of these warning flags. Let's begin first. Number 1. She ignores your time. She ignores your time. One of our most precious resources is time. A lady is clearly disrespectful if she routinely cancels plans, arrives late without warning, or doesn't care about your schedule. A Stoic person recognizes the value of time and refuses to let it be wasted because it is a limited resource that cannot be replaced once it is used up. Someone disregarding your time is more than just a convenience. It shows disrespect for your life and priorities, which are the foundation of a relationship. It demonstrates a lack of consideration for your attempts to accommodate them if a partner frequently cancels plans at the last minute or arrives late without providing an explanation. Imagine spending an hour waiting at a restaurant and then getting a casual text saying they won't be able to make it. This isn't just about the wasted hour, it's also the underlying message of the behavior, which is that a Stoic man values his time and expects others to do the same. This is about knowing how to balance respect and consideration in any encounter when confronted with such situations, not about being strict or harsh. Behavior. A Stoic man calmly evaluates the situation. If it happens once, it's worthwhile to talk about it to understand the background, but if it starts to happen frequently, it's cause for concern. A Stoic person understands that every moment spent waiting on someone who doesn't value him is a moment that could have been spent on personal development, meaningful relationships, or fulfilling pursuits. In these situations, the Stoic response is to set boundaries politely but firmly and communicate your expectations. If those boundaries are still disregarded, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. Allowing someone to waste your time repeatedly is not only foolish, it's self-defeating. The second is that she causes you to doubt your choices. A woman who doesn't respect you will frequently question your judgment, make fun of your opinions, or reject your ideas. Stoicism teaches us to maintain our convictions while being receptive to helpful criticism. Don't allow constant rejection to undermine your self-esteem. Making decisions is an essential part of living and maintaining a positive relationship. Couples encourage one another's actions and provide helpful criticism, but when one partner persistently challenges the other's choices, it leads to a power imbalance. And have faith. Dismissive actions, scathing comments, or open mockery can gradually undermine confidence and cause the recipient to question their own judgment. Stoicism offers a strong framework for dealing with these kinds of situations. When a Stoic man encounters this behavior, he doesn't react emotionally. Instead, he assesses the criticism objectively to see if it is true. If the dismissal is unjustified and comes from disrespect rather than genuine concern, it is imperative that you address it. For instance, if you propose a weekend trip itinerary and your partner waves it off or rolls her eyes, it's not just the trip that is being rejected. It's your initiative and input. When such conduct persists, it may be quite harmful. Have an open conversation about respect, how the dismissal affects you, and why both partners must value each other's contributions. A Stoic man is unwavering in his convictions and choices, while remaining receptive to helpful criticism. This equilibrium keeps him from being unduly defensive or dismissive of himself. But if the pattern of undermining continues in spite of open communication, it may indicate that the relationship lacks the respect for one another required for it to succeed. Third place. Second, she doesn't value your efforts. She doesn't value your efforts. If you ignore or undervalue your efforts in the relationship, she might not recognize the contributions you make. Effort is a sign of caring and devotion. A Stoic man understands the value of focusing his efforts on people who return the favor. In a relationship, small daily acts of kindness, consideration and care are what create a strong bond. When these efforts are ignored or undervalued, it sends a strong message. When your spouse doesn't appreciate your efforts, especially after you've dedicated time and energy to making them feel special, it can be disheartening. Consider a scenario where a man surprises his partner with a thoughtful gift. He has taken the time to choose something meaningful and anticipates her happiness. If she responds with dismissiveness or indifference, she rejects not just the gift, but also his effort and intention. Over time, such reactions can deter future gestures and cause an imbalance in the relationship. A Stoic guy knows that his efforts are valuable and should be focused toward those who value them and return the favor. This does not imply that he expects constant gratitude or praise, but rather that there should be an underlying sense of reciprocal acknowledgement. It's critical to assess the dynamics of the connection if there is a persistent lack of appreciation. Although you can't make someone appreciate your efforts, you can choose where to focus them. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on the things we can control. Communicating openly is the first step. Talk about how being unappreciated affects you and why it matters. But if nothing changes despite open discussions, it's worthwhile to think about whether the relationship fits your needs and ideals. A Stoic man invests his time, energy, and emotions in relationships where effort and care are reciprocated rather than wasting them on people who don't understand his value. This guarantees that his time, energy, and emotions are used in ways that lead to growth and fulfillment. Fourth, she is emotionally unavailable. Number 4, she is emotionally unavailable. Being emotionally available is essential for a solid bond. A lady may not appreciate the relationship if she avoids important topics or keeps emotionally aloof. Stoicism serves as a reminder to pursue meaningful relationships and avoid fleeting exchanges. The foundation of a strong and meaningful relationship is emotional availability. Without it, the bond between two people becomes brittle and surface level. If someone avoids important conversations, ignores emotional intimacy, or appears constantly distracted, it may be an indication that they do not value the depth of the connection. Imagine trying to express your sentiments or thoughts while sitting opposite your partner, engrossed in their phone. Not only is the connection broken, but it also reflects their priorities. When faced with emotional unavailability, a Stoic man calmly expresses his feelings and the need for a deeper connection. If the emotional distance continues despite efforts to close the gap, a Stoic re-evaluates the relationship. Emotional distance frequently indicates a lack of engagement or investment in the relationship. He recognizes the importance of emotional depth and knows that a fulfilling relationship involves vulnerability, openness, and mutual support. It's important to recognize when a relationship lacks the reciprocity required for development and fulfillment rather than placing blame. Renouncing a shallow connection is a step toward protecting one's emotional health and pursuing a relationship based on understanding rather than a sign of failure. Number 5, she puts others before you. A balanced existence entails a lot of relationships, yet she puts others before you. A balanced life involves keeping up relationships with friends, family, and co-workers, but in a romantic relationship, there must be a clear sense of priority. When a partner consistently puts others before you, whether through actions or attention, it creates a sense of neglect and devalues you. When faced with neglect, a Stoic responds calmly yet firmly. Undervaluation occurs when your partner is off talking to others at an event while you watch. It's not just that you feel ignored at the time, It's also the broader implication that your needs and presence may not be as important to them. Instead of responding emotionally or attempting to engage in confrontation, a Stoic man handles these situations with poise. He watches and assesses the pattern to see whether it is a recurrent habit that reveals deeper priorities or a one-time event brought on by particular circumstances. Open communication is essential for improving mutual understanding. If the behavior continues and you find yourself constantly ignored, it's time to re-evaluate the dynamics of the relationship. Stoics value mutual respect and attention, understanding that a healthy partnership necessitates that both parties feel valued and prioritized. Redirecting energy toward relationships that uphold this balance is not only prudent, but also essential for long-term fulfillment. At number 6, she's sixth. She dismisses your achievements. Disregard your accomplishments. If others greet your accomplishments with indifference or minimize them, it's a sign of undervaluation. A Stoic celebrates their victory and searches for understanding. When a partner reacts to your accomplishments with apathy or minimizes their importance, it can be discouraging and alienating. However, it is crucial to acknowledge and celebrate partners who share your joy, particularly in a relationship. The excitement of sharing news of a promotion only to be met with a lackluster response that's nice or a change of topic is an example of behavior that not only diminishes the joy of the achievement, but also undermines the support and encouragement that should be the foundation of a partnership. Over time, this lack of acknowledgement can erode the sense of mutual celebration and support that strengthens a bond. When confronted with dismissiveness, a Stoic guy doesn't internalize the indifference or let it lessen his sense of accomplishment. Instead, he views himself as valuable and looks for relationships where his partner shares his appreciation for his accomplishments. It is customary to celebrate together. The first step in dealing with dismissiveness is open communication. Explain how their response impacts you and why establishing a deep connection requires recognition. It's a sign of relationship progress if the response is sympathetic and results in positive change. But if the indifference continues, it's critical to consider whether the partnership fits with your ideals and emotional requirements. By pursuing relationships that honor and uplift him, a Stoic guy makes sure that his wins are shared with individuals who genuinely value him and recognizes that celebrating accomplishments together is about strengthening the link between partners rather than just the milestone itself. Seventh place, number 7. She participates in manipulative behavior. She participates in manipulations. Whether through gaslighting, guilt-tripping, or mind games, behavior manipulation is an obvious indication of disrespect and undermines self-worth and trust. One of the most harmful characteristics in any relationship is manipulative behavior, which Stoicism teaches us to maintain. It can take many subtle forms, such as guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or twisting words to make the other person doubt their reality. These behaviors not only erode trust, but also erode a person's confidence and sense of self-worth. During an argument, your partner may misinterpret your words to make you look bad. Over time, this pattern of manipulation can develop a toxic relationship. This dynamic can leave you constantly on edge, questioning your own motives and behavior. Stoicism offers a potent toolkit for handling these circumstances. By keeping emotional control and avoiding the deceptive narrative, you save your mental and emotional health. Being a Stoic man means that he sees manipulation for what it is, a form of control. Rather than reacting emotionally, he calmly addresses the behavior, pointing out the inconsistencies and standing firm in his perspective. This approach not only disarms the manipulator, but also reinforces your own sense of agency. However, recognizing manipulation is only the first step. The Stoic path involves setting clear boundaries and upholding them. For example, if your partner resorts to guilt-tripping to achieve their desired outcome, it is crucial to firmly assert that such tactics are unacceptable. If the behavior continues despite clear communication, it's time to reassess the relationship. Stoicism encourages us to cherish our integrity and tranquility over unhealthy relationships. In the end, a Stoic guy looks for partnerships based on mutual respect, trust, and progress. By avoiding manipulative dynamics, he makes sure that his feelings and energies are focused on positive, healthy relationships. Number 8. She avoids accountability. She avoids accountability at number 8. In any relationship, accountability is crucial. A woman who transfers blame or refuses to accept responsibility for her errors demonstrates a lack of maturity and respect. Stoics view accountability as the basis of trust and development in any relationship is strong character responsibility, which is achieved when one partner continuously refrains from accepting accountability for their deeds, leads to an imbalance that weakens bonds of respect. When your partner forgets a significant date or commitment, instead of owning up to the mistake and offering an apology, they divert the blame by accusing you of not reminding them. This avoidance not only minimizes your feelings, but also stifles the chance for productive communication and improvement. Shifting blame, making excuses, or flatly denying fault are behaviors that reflect a lack of maturity and an unwillingness to grow. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on individual accountability. When confronted with avoidance of accountability, a Stoic man approaches the matter with composure and clarity rather than intensifying the argument. He emphasizes the significance of taking responsibility for one's actions for the sake of the relationship's well-being, and communication is crucial in resolving this. Actions explain how the lack of accountability affects the relationship and why it's crucial for both partners to take responsibility for their actions. For example, you could say that shifting blame makes me feel ignored and undervalued. I think that owning up to our mistakes helps us resolve problems, but Stoicism also teaches us to recognize when change is unlikely if your partner continuously avoids accountability despite having frank and open conversations. It indicates a more serious incompatibility. A Stoic guy knows that a relationship cannot flourish in a setting where there is no respect for one another or accountability. By appreciating accountability, you may create an atmosphere where both partners feel empowered to develop and get better. This builds a sense of integrity and trust that serves as the cornerstone of enduring relationships, in addition to strengthening the current one. Number 9. She displays little attention in your life. Sincere attention is a sign of concern, yet she displays little interest in your life. If she doesn't inquire about your day, your objectives, or your emotions, it's an indication of stoicism and detachment. Relationships based on mutual curiosity and connection. A positive relationship is characterized by interest and involvement, which occurs when a partner genuinely wants to know about your life, your objectives, your views, and your everyday experiences. It conveys consideration and investment. On the other hand, a lack of interest is frequently an indication of emotional detachment or apathy. This behavior can make you feel isolated and undervalued in the relationship. Imagine a situation where you enthusiastically share a story about a difficult day at work or an accomplishment, only to be met with a quick change of topic or a distracted nod. Such responses show a lack of emotional connection and imply that your partner isn't giving your feelings or experiences priority. Instead of responding in frustration to these circumstances, Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge them and deal with them with poise and self-awareness. Express your thoughts and feelings in a clear and concise manner. For instance, you could say, "I feel ignored when you appear preoccupied during our conversations. I value our connection and would appreciate your engagement." This method encourages candid communication and gives your spouse a chance to think things through and make changes. But if the pattern continues even after you try to address it, it's critical to assess the general health of your relationship. In a healthy partnership, both people should feel seen, heard, and valued by prioritizing relationships where mutual curiosity thrives. You can build a bond based on understanding and care. Quality is essential for long-term happiness and connection. A Stoic man recognizes that a fulfilling relationship requires mutual effort and interest. He values his own time and emotional energy and won't waste it on a partner who doesn't reciprocate. Number 10. She is inconsiderate of your limits. Number 10. She disregards your limits. If she continuously crosses borders or disregards your stated limitations, it's an indication that she doesn't value you. Respecting boundaries is something that cannot be compromised. Stoicism teaches us to resolve conflicts and establish and uphold limits with clarity. Boundaries are an essential component of any relationship because they create the foundation for respect and ensure that both partners feel safe and appreciated. When a partner consistently oversteps your limits or ignores your expressed needs, it shows a lack of consideration and respect. Imagine a scenario in which you want some personal space after a hectic day, but your partner ignores you and keeps requesting your attention over time. Behavior can destroy trust and cause anger. Boundaries are about building mutual respect and understanding, not about establishing distance. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of establishing and upholding limits. A Stoic guy is aware that maintaining his principles and boundaries is essential to his integrity and well-being. It's crucial to communicate calmly and assertively when dealing with boundary violations. For example, you could say, "I've expressed that I need some time to recharge after work. It's important to me that this boundary be respected." If your partner keeps ignoring your boundaries despite your repeated conversations, it could be a sign of deeper problems in your relationship. Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves and recognize when a relationship isn't contributing to our development or well-being. When you value your own limits and expect the same from your partner, you build a foundation of respect and trust that strengthens the relationship. In the end, a Stoic man seeks relationships where boundaries are respected and valued, because this commitment not only protects his peace and emotional health, but also paves the way for a fulfilling and harmonious connection. Setting and upholding boundaries is not about controlling the other person. Rather, it's about ensuring mutual respect and creating a healthy environment for both partners. The first step to regaining your sense of value is acknowledging these outro behaviors. Keep in mind that Stoicism is about leading an honest life and placing a high value on meaningful relationships. Thank you for viewing, and if this video was useful to you, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more relationship and personal development insights. Till the next time, remain stoic and strong.